Hello there, you're watching Press TV News. My name is Mehrdad Yazdani. Israel has announced its most ambitious settlement plans to date, promising 40,000 new Israeli homes in the occupied Jerusalem, Al-Quds, over the next 10 years. The announcement coincides with strong words from U.S. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, who called Israeli settlement building an obstacle to peace. Many of the new homes will be built in the Arab neighborhoods of East Jerusalem. A spokesman for Prime Minister Ehud Olmert said settlements would remain part of Israel under any possible peace deal. The international community, including the United Nations Security Council, has never recognized Israel's settlements in the occupied territories. The Israeli Knesset members say the U.S. criticism of Israeli settlement expansion plans is just words, and the U.S. does not do anything to stop Israel.
It seems like empty word because the United States is the biggest supporter of Israel, and Israel is building settlements all the time. United States criticize Israel all the time about settlements, but do nothing to stop Israel because of the settlement. For example, cutting the American aid or part of the American aid because of the settlements. United States is just using words and no deeds against the settlement expansion and settlement building. So we do not really take the words of Mrs. Rice seriously. Peace agreement is not related to declarations of Bush or Olmert or even Mahmoud Abbas. It's a question of ripeness of Israel, because the Palestinians have a proposal, and Israel is not ripe for let's say just and balanced solution or settlement. Israel is adopting a policy of crisis management, not crisis solution, and they are trying to gain time. For instance, after Annapolis, the settlement project was intensified and dramatically. And thousands of houses were built in settlements. This is the real negotiation on the ground. Israel is continue building the apartheid wall and expanding and building more settlements.
A report by Amnesty International strongly criticizes rich nations for not doing enough to help refugees from war-torn Iraq. The London-based human rights group says the international community is promoting a false picture of the security situation in Iraq. It says the country is neither safe nor suitable for return. The report says that the U.S. and U.K. highlight improved security in Iraq out of political expediency to show that their military involvement has been a success. According to the report, some 4.7 million Iraqi refugees have fled their homes. Meanwhile, more Iraqis are being killed every month by armed groups, the occupation, and private and military security guards. Bitterness and accusations continue to mar the run-up to Zimbabwe's presidential runoff vote set for June 27. The opposition movement for democratic change says President Mugabe's government is using thuggish tactics to prevent them from campaigning. Zimbabwe police have arrested opposition leader Morgan Tsvangirai 5 times over the last 10 days without pressing charges. The United Nations has also accused Mugabe's supporters of orchestrating violence, in which the MDC say dozens of its supporters have been killed. Mugabe has recently threatened that war veterans would be prepared to take up arms if he lost this month's election. Flooding in southern China has killed at least 55 people and forced more than 1 million to flee their homes. Torrential rains have hit 9 provinces, including earthquake-ravaged Sichuan province. Floodwaters have left large areas of farmland underwater and destroyed nearly thousands of homes. Many road routes have been blocked off by landslides. Heavy rains affect China every year, but authorities say this year's flooding is the worst for 5 decades. More heavy rains are expected over the next 10 days. That's it with a summary of the news for this hour here on Press TV. More details on our website, presstv.ir. Thank you for watching.